It's not everyone cut out to be an entrepreneur, okay? And you don't have to be an entrepreneur. Listen, if you find your fulfillment in being a firefighter or whatever the case may be, do it, right? Because that's what makes you feel free. Listen, God put us on this earth and all of us have a purpose. You were meant for something. You doing what your calling is mean everything in the world, not only to yourself but for the people who you love. Because if you feel fulfilled, you're gonna have a different type of vibration. Because you're gonna in a more enlightened state of vibration. You're gonna in a more pleasant emotion all day. So people around you is gonna get that as a gift. You being in a positive state is gonna be so blessing for people around you because now you're not negative. But it's very important for you to follow your calling. Doesn't mean that because I'm talking about entrepreneur, I hear people talk about entrepreneur, you should be an entrepreneur. Because what if you're not ready for this level of stress? If you have a hobby, then pursue your hobby. You don't have to start a whole business with it. Just understand that, listen, you have a skill set, just find someone who have a business and then work underneath them. Because not everyone can be a leader. Because being a leader is not about being in charge, right? Like I said all the time, it's about being responsible for those in your charge. And being a leader means that you have to sacrifice. You have to know when to humble yourself because sometimes you're gonna recruit someone, a worker that's better than you in your niche, in the same thing that you were supposed to be good at. And you have to humble down yourself and be like, you know what? It's his business now. I'm gonna let him take over. Because I made a video and someone comment on it and they say, you are the leader, but are you the captain? And I was like, you know what? I might not be the captain for the boat, but guess what? If I'm the leader, I know when to step down. I know when to step down and let someone play their role that they need to play. Because if this guy know how to sail a boat better than me, I'm gonna let him do it. Point of being a leader is to oversee all the talents, right, in the vicinity. Some people have different unique skill. You can make your ego because you have a title of being a boss or the title of being a leader, make your ego over trump all of that because then you guys are not going to be in sync. You guys not going to have chemistry. Chemistry is very important for people to work together. And the only way you can have chemistry is when everyone play their part. It's like a band, okay? So the leader would be more like the choreographer. I don't know what they call that guy, but he'd be like the guy who's directing the band, telling the band what to do or whatever the case may be. You know that on the band you have one that play the guitar, one that play the tambourine, one that do the lead singing. The lead singer is not the leader. He's the captain of the ship. You get what I'm saying? But the leader is one that say, okay, this is where we're gonna go. This is the stage we're gonna play on. This is the stage we're gonna play on, and everyone find their appropriate role, right? So for people to have chemistry and work together as a unit, we have to let everyone play their role. I think Les Brown, the motivational speaker, was the one who said, when you want to be good at something, right? And you have a lot of talent, you're putting your eggs in a lot of basket. You need to find your fastball, meaning find the one thing that you're good at and stick to it, because that's gonna be the role that you play. And the role of a leader is to find out who has the best soft fastball, or better yet, find out everyone fastball and put them and place them accordingly. You get what I'm saying? So you don't have to be an entrepreneur. Do whatever comes best for you, because maybe you're not the one who cut out to take a lot of sacrifice. Because a leader take a lot of L's. Sometimes they have to humble down themselves even though they are right. Because leadership is not about being right? It's about being effective. Sometimes you have to take the hell and be wrong for the chemistry to keep going. You understand? It's called sacrifice. That's the ultimate form of love. Jesus Christ did it himself. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to be an entrepreneur. Find what you like to do and pursue that with all your heart, because then you're going to feel enlightened. Then you're going to feel open. Then you're going to be more in a higher emotional state. So when you meet up with people that you love, they're not getting this negative emotional state because your day was so hard. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you have a hard time, hard day, and you're feeling stressed, and when your loved ones see you, significant others see you, they're getting that raw emotion from the bad day that you just had. But as a leader, you have to fix that emotion before you get to that part, because guess what? All the pain from here is going to be spilled onto here, and they don't deserve that, and they didn't ask for that. You understand? So yeah, pursue what you like to do, and don't worry about being an entrepreneur. There's going to be a time when everything feels like a trial and error, and the moment that time or that period of your life stop, the moment everything stopped feeling like a trial and error, then you check yourself, you probably died. Because in life, everything has to be a trial and error. We can't know everything. Even AI don't know everything. For us to grow as a species, for us to mutate, we need adversity, right? We need something to grow from. We need something to adapt to. We need change. You understand? There's no same day. You never see the same day. Today is the same day tomorrow. It's impossible. Every day we're changing. Every day we're mutating. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. There's no standstill. There's no middle ground. If you don't go to the gym today and you sit at home, doesn't mean that you're maintaining your physique. That means that you took a day and make your physique go backwards, right? If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. That's why consistency is a very important thing. That's why we have to be consistent. If I'm a CEO and today I take a day off business, right? If I take a day off business, that's a day of me not doing what I need to do as a CEO, conduct the business a certain way. That's a day when I let things slip by, because if I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backwards. And only way you can move forward in that sense and you take a day off is when you delegate services. But that's a whole different topic. So when things feel like a trial and error, then that's a good feeling. Obviously, you're doing something right where you're making errors, because errors are part of life. L's turn into learnings. I think learnings start with L's, right? So don't worry about taking L's. You're taking off, then you're going to start learning. Right? You need to mess up to start learning. Like I said, if you have an idea, execute on it. You can't think and execute at the same time. Execute on it. The sooner you start, the sooner you get to mess up. The sooner you mess up, the sooner you get to critique. The sooner you critique, the sooner you start to win. If you feel like you're too busy working in your business and not on your business, listen, I was reading this book. It's called The Leadership Insight. And it was saying tyranny of urgency, meaning that every day we get up, we kind of like go towards an urgent task. So if something happens, we do that. We do whatever urgent, and what's important never gets done. So the best thing you can do right here is like step back a little bit and see what's important and see what's urgent and see if you can balance it out. Sometimes the urgent thing is needed to take care of, but at the same time, we need to step back and make sure that the important things are getting done. If you feel like you're working in the business and not on the business, don't worry, because maybe at this point in your life, you need to stay working in your business. Because remember, a business has two main phases: cash flow and then scaling and niching. If you're not covered cash flow yet, if you're not making money daily or you're not making money weekly, then keep working in the business until that's a possibility. Because when you delegate the work that you're doing now, then you can step and start working on the business. At least you have someone working in the business. Someone has to stay working in the business. You're worrying about working in the business. Look at McDonald's. What if everyone just get up and be like, you know what? The CEO does get up and be like, I'm not cooking any burgers no more fries. What do you think is gonna happen? The business is gonna close down. So what happened is, the problem is not you working in the business. The problem that you need to put someone to work in the business so you can go and work on it. The CEO, if he's going to leave, then he has to put someone to replace him. That's why it's called employment. That's why it's called delegation. So if you're working in the business right now, you need to cover cash flow. And then after you cover cash flow, get someone to put in your position. Then you can step out and work on important stuff while the other person is taking care of what you need to take care of. So simple things you can do right now if you don't have enough cash flow. One, get AI software that's cheap and can do certain tasks so you don't have to do it. For example, I use AI software to cut and clip my content, so that way I don't have to do it manually. Find tools that you can leverage to take off some of the workload, so that way you can work on much important things and not too much of the urgent tasks. If you're working in the business, you need to delegate so that way you can work on something important. Like I said, if you cannot delegate, then stay working to the business until you can, or find AI software that you can leverage to take care of most of the immediate stuff needed. Let's just make this clear. If you're afraid of hiring people or delegate services because you have been burned before, then you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, because everyone has been burned before. What about the entrepreneurs that are going through bankruptcy? What would you say to them? They shouldn't start a business again? You hear what I'm saying? Everything comes down to perspective. I get a call when I'm calling leads per day to like try to close a deal, right? Most of them tell me, CJ, how can I trust you? Because I got a guy from Fiverr, right? I got a guy from Fiverr who burned me, and I'm like, listen, calm down, listen. People are gonna burn you, and right now you're acting like a walking time bomb. I can't even trust you because you have been burned. I don't know what you would do because you have been burned. I don't know what you would do to try to prevent not to be burned again. So when you're burned, don't walk around with that resentment, because everyone is not the same. You're telling me if your wife cheating on you and you divorce, and the next wife is gonna cheat on you, like, you can't treat everyone the same. All right. So get out of your way. Get out of your own way. Open your mind. Open yourself to new perspective, and so we can get shit done. Right. Don't be too busy. Be effective. All right. So that's it for this one. All right. I'll see you guys later.